Welcome back to the channel. Today's conversation is going to be with a PhD student at the University of Kentucky in the United States of America. Hello, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
I'm good. Can you please introduce yourself?
Okay, everyone. So my name is Albert Junior Nyako, and as he mentioned, I'm a first-year PhD student going to my second year in August. I'm studying communication at the University of Kentucky.
I want us to have a conversation about life as an international student in the United States of America, right? But before then, can you give me a little background? Where are you from? Where were you born? Who are you?
Okay, so as I already mentioned earlier, my name is Albert Junior Nyako, and I'm from the Ashanti region of Ghana. I was born in Atonsu, Bokro, which is in the Asokwa now Municipal Assembly, and I hail from Ntonso Abuaso, which is in the Kwabre East District of the Ashanti region. I'm from a family of 7 siblings, and all my siblings are, some are in the UK and some are in Ghana. My family is actually based in Kumasi, where I grew up, and I went to high school, Kumasi High School. After I proceeded to Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, where I did my bachelor's in tourism, and then to Washington State University.
Okay, so before we come to the US, you had your basic and then your first degree in Ghana, right? So Kumasi High and then KNUST. All right. How was life growing up as a child in Ghana, as a young boy in Ghana?
As a young boy in Ghana, growing up was, dad support him, get his work done, pay for your school fees, run, errands for your parents, and then study hard. You make sure you go to school, get a right quality education, and then come out with flying colors. So, growing up as a child in Ghana wasn't that easy because, I was from a family of old parents. So, I had to support my parents at some point for them to be able to cater for me as a child. So, I'm the last born of my parents, so I had to support them at that point because I was, the one with mostly staying with them at home and all that. And they all were doing their own businesses. My father was a tailor, and my mom was a trader, doing her own commercial.
Let's talk about KNUST education. How was life for you in school in Ghana?
Okay, so going to KNUST was something that I never dreamt about. I wanted to go to University of Ghana, Legon, but my dad was someone who advocated always for us to school in Kumasi. I don't know why, but he wants us to get close to the house, and so that when we need any support, we can just run home and all that. So he never advocated for me to go out from Kumasi for education. So I did all my schooling in Kumasi. And in KNUST, it wasn't so easy because, as I mentioned, my dad was old, and raising money to pay for my fees at times was a challenge. My mom was supporting at the background. But then after everything that went on in KNUST, I was able to finish and come out with flying colors. And I got first class, which, is something that I never joke about. My dad and mom were proud about that. And, I made friends, I made connections. I didn't only do academics because I was like, when you want to go out there, it's not only about the book, it's not only about the theory. You have to put yourself out there. You have to network and know people. So I joined NUCS, KNUST. I was part of the academic committee.
Now, at what point in your life did you decide to move to America? What stage?
I like this. So, at that point, when I moved to Accra, I worked with Petra as a financial advisor, which was a contract job. And I later on had a job opportunity at British Council where I did my service. But this time around, I was an exam coordinator in Accra. So as I was doing the job, it's like I was in the job for 1 year and I was doing the same thing every day, every time. So I got kind of fed up and I'm like, no, I can't be doing this all of my life. I want to still pursue my accounting dream. But even weekends for me to get time to go to classes, I wasn't getting. So a friend had a conversation with me, a friend I used to work with, and he was like, Albert, I think you might, try moving out of the country to pursue further education. Why don't you think about that? So it dawned on me, that was somewhere March of 2021. And I knew applications were kind of over. Application cycle was over because it starts in September or August to maybe January. But then I was able to chance on some schools which was accepting MBA applications. So I started applying for MBA programs. So I applied to about 8 schools, and I had admissions to about 7 of them. But funding for MBA is always a pain in the ass. Like it's not easy. So I had funding, but it came late. I had funding to Eastern Tennessee State University, which was like assistantship, and assistantship is the big thing in the US. So I mean, although it came late, I still wanted to pursue. So I decided to defer the program to the following year, so that I can, come in. But when you defer the program, you will not get the assistantship. They will not, put it there for you till you start the program in the following year. So I lost my assistantship funding, unfortunately. And whilst I was waiting to start the next year, I kind of reflected on certain things. And because when you have MBA admissions, you need to show I-20. You need to show I-20 for visa application and everything. And because I didn't have assistantship at the beginning, I had to show a bank statement, and it was also a challenge getting a bank statement for my fees. So I was like, let me look at schools that will not require me to show bank statement to get I-20, like schools that will offer you admission with full assistantship, so that you can just go for your interview with your I-20 ready, not going to the hassle and bustle of getting bank statements. So I was doing my research. I like doing research here. And I chanced on about 3 schools: Washington State University, Northern Arizona University, and Ball State University. But this time around, I looked at another program, which is not MBA, but communication. So when I realized Washington State is accepting students for communication for 100% assistantship, I was like, what do I do then? Me from a tourism background, and now trying to fit into this application. So I decided to read about the program, and then I realized that they have a specialization, or they have different specializations: political communication, environmental communication, health communication. And luckily for me, for my undergraduate dissertation, we call it dissertation or thesis, I did something related to public health and safety. And it was in line with tourism, local tourism in Lake Bosomtwe. So I was like, let me tweak my thesis to form a statement of purpose which will fit in the health communication specialization. So that's what I did. I just wrote my SOP, fitted in my thesis, and then what I did was I did some code emailing. So I sent code emails to some professors in Washington State University and the other 2 schools. I used to do code emailing a lot. So I did that, and the professor got back to me, and he was like, oh, your background looks interesting. I would like us to have a Zoom call, and then so we can discuss the way forward and all that. So I was so happy to get feedback, because most of the professors I reached out to most of them never got back to me. So I was so glad I had that feedback. And we met, we discussed about grad school, the program and all that I have to know. So later on, he connected me to the admission coordinator, that he should help me with logistics and application processes and all that, which was very helpful. And then through that, I connected with the academic coordinator, and then he was able to take me through the application process from beginning to the end, to submission, submit. And the last day I was submitting my application, he was there to go through with me from personal information to submit, as I mentioned. So I was able to submit it, and they assured me of assistantship. So I was like, oh, this is it. I don't need to go back to my MBA hassle again. So I got admission later on in February. I applied early in October 2021 and got admission in January or February 2022. So with assistantship funding, my I-20 had no deficit, and I began looking for how to apply for US visa. So a friend, a very good friend of mine who was here in 2021, Ohio University, directed me as to what to do next. US visa application is not an easy thing. You have to go through so many processes, for which if you don't know, you miss out. So he guided me throughout the process, and getting a date for interview was it was not easy. I had to wake up at dawn. I had to join date hunting pages, and so one evening it dawned on me that go check the portal to see if you can get dates. And luckily for me, I got dates. I got 5th May for my visa interview, which was way months before starting in August. So I was so happy, and I was able to get that slot, and After that, I started preparing for my visa interview, which was also another another kind of pain in the ass. And I had to rehearse, I had to join mock interviews, and thanks to Fred Effect, the guy who really helped me that time, I joined his mock interviews and I was able to, prepare very well for. I usually, after my visa interview myself, I had to also prepare people for their visa interview. So it was a good thing I joined that mock interview, yeah. So I got my visa, and I got my visa on 5th May 2022, and made travel plans, resigned from my job. It wasn't easy resigning, but then I had to, and then move back from Accra to Kumasi to, say bye-bye to family, then prepare to head to the United States. So I go to the US on 26th of July 2022 to begin my master's program in communication at Washington State University. So that's how the journey was, yeah.
Very interesting story. But then, how was your experience in the US? When you got to the US, was it the US dream you always expected?
I must say it was. I've heard about the US, and I knew people, talk about the US a lot. But then, where I was not, the US I used to see on, TV, or like people used to talk about, because it was like a college town, a small community. So, there was culture shocks and all that, but I was able to settle in well because I had some Ghanaian community around, and yeah, I liked it.
All right. So now, walk us through your PhD. How did you get here? You came in as a master's student, you're done with your master's. Why didn't you go back home? Why are you still in the US?
That's a good question. So I wanted to, go back or stay, but I decided to stay because it dawned on me, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't want to come to grad school. So I was just thinking about the next move. And I was like, since I decided not to come to grad school, but then later I decided to come to grad school, why not finish a PhD and then know what life brings next? So I decided to apply for PhDs. I only applied for one fellowship, graduate fellowship, but then about 6 schools for PhD. Yeah, because I wanted to follow, that thread to finish my PhD and know what life brings on board.
Okay, so what are you studying in right now? And what has been your experience so far as a PhD student?
Okay, so I'm studying PhD in communication. My research interest is in health communication. So as my experience as a PhD student has not been that easy and flexible. For a PhD student now, you don't need to be somebody who doesn't know what you want to do. You should be able to know research. You should be able to know literature review. You should be able to know how to analyze data, because there is no way you get opportunity to learn these things when you start a PhD program. So in as much as you are coming with a master's degree, you should be able to be proficient in these areas: research, data analysis, literature review, how to write a manuscript, how to review papers and all that, because the training that you have in the PhD program will not give you the opportunity to start from scratch. You have to have experience in that area. So, you have to be abreast with all these things, and you have to be up and doing, you have to be on top of your game, you have to be on top of the research interest that you want to pursue. Yeah.
After 4 years, you'll be done with your PhD. You'll be a doctor, Dr. Albert Nyako. Are you going to stay in the US and then contribute to US development, or are you going to go back home?
Good question. I don't know what lies next, but I would like to stay. Then I would like to stay to know how the work environment or the academic environment looks like in the US for some time. And if the opportunity comes for me to move out of the US to Ghana, I'm willing and ever ready to go to Ghana to support my country. Yeah.
There's someone watching you. I always ask this question at the end. There's someone watching you from Kumasi, from Tech, who wants to pursue further education in the US. What is your advice for that young guy?
Okay, so what I would say is that person should never give up, should take things serious, whatever he or she wants to do, that person should make sure that he has the right information, he has the right people and connection, he knows what he's about, he knows, where to go to find information, and in all, the person has to be proactive, plan ahead, because, if you are proactive, you're able to, achieve a lot. So, I would say the person should be proactive, up and doing, hardworking, and build good network or connection. Quality one, not just any connection, quality and good network.
All right, Albert, thank you very much for your time. I really
pleasure.
appreciate it.
Thank you too, sir.